This is Innovation Interview Student Series. Well, welcome everyone. We are here today at the Kautz-Uible Cryptoeconomics Lab. My name is Sunshine, and I am your host, and today's interview is with the University of Cincinnati student, Daniel Vennemeyer. Daniel is a first-year student working on his BS in computer science with a focus in machine learning. He has applied for Ascend, which is an accelerated engineering degree and a master's in artificial intelligence. Daniel has a special interest in applying quantitative and algorithmic technique to solve broad economic problems. He works as a research assistant here in the Kautz-Uible Cryptoeconomics Lab, where his current work includes the development of a decentralized crowdsourced market basket, which can be used to measure inflation and detect important trends in pricing both broadly and highly specifically. This project will be presented at the ETH Denver conference in just a couple weeks, right?
Yes.
Great. Well, before getting started, tell me something about yourself that most people don't know.
Well, I don't know if most people don't know this, but it is something that people usually find pretty surprising. I can do the splits.
Oh,
period.
Very nice, very nice. Well,
yes,
I used to be able to do the splits, but I cannot do that anymore.
It's one of my great skills.
So, well, maybe...
Comes in very handy with all the crypto research.
Very interesting. Well, tell me how you got here today. What made you want
Yes.
to be a computer engineer, and what made you want to get into this project, and how did you get involved in the Cryptoeconomics Lab?
Yes. So, long story. I've always wanted to be a computer scientist. You know, in first grade, when we had our career day, everybody wants to be, you know, a soccer player, veterinarian.
Sure.
I came in and I wanted to be a computer scientist because I've always wanted to apply these technology to solve problems. And really, you know, I just thought technology is the coolest thing ever and that it could really do so many amazing things for our world. And I still think that. So I've always pursued technology. But as I went through my schooling career, I found my second big interest in love, and that was economics. My senior year, I had no idea what to fill my last open spot with, so I put economics on a whim. I loved it. It was pretty amazing.
What did you like about economics?
Yeah, so it's just an amazing and specific way to actually talk about human behavior. So the thing that I like about computer science is it provides a very concrete framework in which to solve problems. I feel like it's one of the most pure way to actually solve problems. But one issue with computer science is that you have to actually be able to define those problems. Economics offers an incredible framework to actually define innately human problems, which most other social sciences, I feel like, don't get as granular with it as economics, which some people might not think is fun, but I think it's amazing.
Great. So how did you become involved in the Cryptoeconomics Lab?
Yes. So again, another long story, full of those today. So I originally was working with the UC's Undergraduate Economics Society. I'm a member of their Economics Society. And I wanted to make a economics after-school program that would go to local high schools and teach economics to these kids who don't have an actual economics program at their school, because I think it's very important for people to learn economics and really learn how to effectively engage in the world monetarily and financially. So in the process of doing that, I met multiple amazing professors here at the University of Cincinnati who teach economics. And one of them, upon finding out that I wasn't actually an economics student, I was a computer science student, I immediately said, I think I have the job for you. And he referred me to this lab right here. And the rest is history.
I see. So you were basically showing your passion to others by volunteering, and then you kind of fell into this.
Yes.
So tell me about this current project that you're working on and what you're going to present at this conference.
Yes. So it's a crowd-sourced market basket. And those are some big words that you may or may not know. But the idea is essentially we're asking anybody, anywhere, to input data about their local pricing information So essentially, anybody in the world can log on to our decentralized platform, which they can then add whatever the price of anything is where they are right now. And then we can do a lot of really cool things with that data, including but not limited to measuring inflation at a highly local level or even more broadly.
So if I go into, say, Kroger and buy some eggs, then I
Mhm.
could just put that information in and then share it with you?
Yes.
I see.
So essentially, you would just log on to our web client or through a decentralized platform. There's multiple ways to get onto our platform, but yeah, you just log on and you say, here's where I am. You say hashtag Cincinnati. You say hashtag, Kroger's, hashtag soda or whatever you're buying,
Mm-hmm.
and then hashtag, $1.99 or however much it costs for a can of soda.
Okay. Now, tell me what you mean by decentralized.
So that is one of the big questions that we're coming up with right now. So the actual method in which we are getting the information is using something called the Nostr protocol, which is just essentially a way to get information in short little texts almost, or tweets, over a decentralized platform, which in this case means that anybody anywhere can host a relay if they set it up. And then you can log on using a web client and post to any specific relay. So we have our own relay here at the lab.
What do you want to do with this information?
Yes, so there's lots of really cool things that we could do. Right now, we're focusing just on getting inflation data and measuring inflation for specific goods and specific areas. But because pricing data is, we have it at such a specific level, we can do a lot of really cool things. So not only can we map inflation over time, or maybe cost of living in different cities, or we could even talk about different trends in how much people are spending in different categories. So there's a lot of really cool things that we could do. Currently, we're focusing on inflation, but we want to.
So the goal is to get crowdsourcing enough individuals in different areas
Mm-hmm.
to be able to detect inflation in the different areas of inflation in different areas, whether it be Colorado or the LA or here in Cincinnati.
Yep.
And then collect that data and then decide what to do with the data?
Yes. So we'll analyze all of the data always. Currently, where we are right now, we're just working on the inflation portion of the project. Mm-hmm. But as time progresses and as we get more of the project done, then we'll expand to other economic indicators that we can calculate based on the data that we receive.
I see. So now with the crowdsourcing, how do you get involvement, and what things do you think you will encounter as far as problems?
So that is one of the big problems that we're trying to figure out right now. The easy answer is, if you want to get people interested, you got to give them some sort of incentive, so namely money. The idea is that we would have our own web client that you can use to log onto our relay and add your data to. And if you use that, because we're able to get more specific data from you, we would be able to pay you then small amounts of, typically probably some sort of coin. And then that would incentivize you to add data to that. Mm-hmm. Or you could use the decentralized route. And the question one of the questions that we're coming into right now is whether we would want to pay people for doing the decentralized route, because we can't get as specific location data because we wouldn't be able to prompt the user directly for their exact latitude and longitude.
I see.
So yeah.
How do you go in to prepare for something like this as far as a presentation for your crowdsourcing?
Yeah, the big thing is basically know what you're doing, have a really good idea of why the project is useful and what the project is and what it is not. Because if you just start throwing on ideas and lose the sense of what the project actually is and why it's useful, then other people won't understand what it is or why it's useful either. You really just have a very concrete idea and theme for your project. And then besides that, practice. It also helps.
Sure. Now, I know inflation is probably on a lot of people's minds.
Yes.
And so the incentive, I think, is there to just be the curiosity, to be curious about what inflation looks like in other cities. Is there a certain area that you're looking at as far as, is it just the United States for right now?
Yeah. Yes. So currently just looking at the United States, but there's no reason at all why it can't be other places too. We would just have to include support for that. But this project is simply in its early phases. Just started it not that long ago.
And what does your application look like? Is it something that you have on your mobile device? Is it something that you have on a web browser? How would you interact, or how would people interact?
Yes. So there's two ways. So either you use our client, which would be a website that you would log on to, or you would be able to use any existing client for the Nostr protocol, which there are many out there that already support adding to Nostr relays.
All right. What are you anticipating as maybe a problem or a barrier that you're going to encounter when you get there that you are kind of preparing for?
Yes. So a lot of it is just figuring out how to actually deal with this data and how the Nostr protocol actually works. We've been doing a lot of research and practice with, dealing with these Nostr relays. And that's been the big thing that we've been preparing for. In terms of other things that could be an issue, I think that we're pretty well prepared in all things considered.
Well, good. It's definitely a fascinating project, and I'm excited to hear and get some feedback once you go. So definitely keep in contact and let me know how everything went. And good luck with your project, you and all. Just kind of going back and just on a personal perspective, where do you get your passion? You obviously have this kind of entrepreneur vibe, and then also this philanthropy where you want to kind of give back. Tell me about something that you're most proud of in your life and that you're most passionate about that kind of drives you.
Yeah, I really value education. I think it's incredibly important, and I like learning. It's one of the things that I just do for fun sometimes. And so one of the big ways that I like to give back is through like the economics program that I was telling you about earlier, is to educate other people as well. So not only am I helping create the economics outreach program, which will be starting next semester at Gamble Montessori High School, but I'm also helping create a computer science, computing education program as well.
So is this something you go into the schools and you
Yes.
offer some educational classes out of your time to other children that may be interested and want to get involved in software and engineering? And is coding involved also?
Yes. So for the economics one, all economics. For the computing one, all like programming. Specifically in Python is how the curriculum is right now. But it would be just go to a school that currently doesn't have a well-developed program in either economics or computing, and then go there for an hour each week after school, an hour to an hour and a half, and just teach whoever wants to learn.
Oh, wow. So what's it been like so far? What is your feedback, and how many students have you been able to kind of impact and see?
Yes. So these two will be starting in the fall. Very hard, actually, to schedule these sorts of things. Have done one at the elementary level last year. We did about 40 fifth and sixth graders.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And they learned basic computing principles, both using Scratch and then moving as they advanced to JavaScript. And so, yeah, it was pretty incredible. One kid actually liked it so much that he signed up for all of our sessions. So even though he'd already done it before, he did it again.
That's great. Well, that's really cool, and you're definitely impacting others, and especially other children in our future generations. So that's great to hear. What do you think, or what do you want to do with your engineering degree? I know you're anticipating moving forward with your master's degree and specializing in more AI. What do you want to do with that? Where do you see yourself, and how do you think you want to impact the world?
Yeah, so right after graduation, I'm hoping to do something that will be able to help me solve real economic and financial problems using big data and using machine learning and applying these quantitative and computational techniques to these big economic problems. And then maybe in the future, I'll go into teaching, but immediately want to get a little bit more experience and actually solve some problems in the world.
Wow, you're definitely already solving problems already with just your program, just to help the younger generation, and then also this project that you're working on now to help with inflation. So I want to thank you so much for being a guest on our show. To end our show today, we will end with our Crypto Lab Scholar, which is a game, and I'm sure you've heard of this. And I know you're familiar with cryptocurrency. You may not be an expert, as some of our guests claim that they are. However, some of these are pretty easy, simple. Some of them are abbreviations. Some are harder.
Okay.
But basically, you will need to get as many right in 1 minute. And at the end of the month, whichever person that was interviewed will be crowned the Crypto Lab Speed Scholar. Here we go. If the price of cryptocurrency has a negative price movement, it's called what? Negative
depreciation.
Price. Another one, it's also in the stock market. It's
pass.
Play to earn metaverse on the Ethereum blockchain, where you can build land, build adventures, play games, buy and sell digital goods, and have a concert with Snoop Dogg.
In the metaverse? Metaverse.
What cryptocurrency connects a network of at least 7 to 5 international banks on the Ripple network?
Pass. Man.
Which cryptocurrency was the first to incorporate smart contracts? You could guess on this one. People that update the blockchain are called?
Miners.
Good. All the other coins besides Bitcoin?
Altcoin.
Good. Smallest unit of Bitcoin?
Satoshi.
P2P?
Peer-to-peer.
Known for pumping Dogecoin?
Elon.
A physical store? Wow.
Cold storage wallet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, you have you're my 5th interview, and you have had the most. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct. So this month is going to be a challenge to beat you, Daniel.
Okay.
So you may be crowned the Crypto Lab Speed Scholar.
That's
we
what
will
I do
see.
it for.
We will see.
Yes.
So Daniel, just thank you again for letting me interview you. And I love your story, and I love that you're making great things at the University of Cincinnati and making an impact for children and people around you. So good luck to you, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Perfect.